to have a look at what's going on in your morning papers. Always a treat looking at the Sunday papers because they get to tell us exactly what we can look forward to with the week ahead, Morena. But I'm going to start off. I know that you've also got some good stuff as well as the sports one. Although in sports, I'm sure it's all about Orlando Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs. Oh, gosh, somebody needs to find a new T-shirt. But let's talk about the Sunday Times very quickly. Fleeing the Ukraine. It is a major one in the Sunday Times newspaper. Obviously, we see now that the latest developments to have come out of the Ukraine is that ceasefire that has now subsequently collapsed. And, of course, it looks as though both parties are blaming each other. So here's what it says here in the Sunday Times. Fleeing Ukraine hell. That is what it's got. And it's got like an image there of, as you can see, the citizens. As you can just get over my pink nails, but you can see the citizens there that are trying to flee the Ukraine in search for just some kind of security at this stage. And then there's another one. Don't allow Gupta enabler to get hands on Optimum. It is another front pager. What do you have on your side?
I've got the Sunday World, and we know the Sunday World is a newspaper that usually breaks news all the time that we did not expect. But it's got something that usually that we have, of course, it's got news that other newspapers have got, surprisingly. It's only March, guys, but the race for the ANC presidency is in full force because we've got, of course, the axe falls on Zuma allies in the ANC reshuffle. So the NDC and the NDCA have been reshuffled in the ANC, of course. And we are now seeing Cyril Ramaphosa, the incumbent ANC president, now making certain moves. And it's something that maybe you're not paying much attention to, but if you're somebody like myself and Faith who are in the radio space, you know that upcoming is the radio reshuffle. And there are certain happenings in the radio space.
Conversations that happen.
Thabo Molefe, you guys may know him as Tibo Touch, is going back to one of the biggest commercial radio stations in the country. That's Metro FM.
I saw
So that's one of the big news that the Sunday World is breaking this morning, of course, and they're also speaking on banks sweeping on Andile Ramaphosa's properties. That is the son of the president of this country, Cyril Ramaphosa.
I've also got the City Press speaking about changes that when it comes to the African National Congress, as well as a policy conference, as well as the elective conference that is expected later on in the year. We've got Cyril makes sweeping changes with an eye on a second term. Ramaphosa's faction boots out old blood and packs the ANC's key committees with loyalists ahead of the National Elective Conference. Let me show you. It is a front pager there. See? That's what it looks like. It's a City Press. Get yourself a copy of the City Press. You want to look at that one. And then Tibo Touch goes back to Metro. It was a conversation that we saw there with Morena in the Sunday World. So it is a big story that is going to be happening. I mean, but this happens every time when it comes to kind of reshufflings as well.
Every single year, especially with the public broadcaster, there is usually changes that happen with them.
I like this. Hey, I like this one. The changing face of beauty pageants. So you see, it's not just about believing in world peace. It's bigger than that. It's inside of the...
I want to ask you actually, Faith, had you ever considered getting into beauty pageants?
Oh gosh, I can't believe you're making me share my secrets. Shame, my poor mother. Yes. So my mom actually is the one. Maybe let me take a look at it. My mother is the one that actually used to say to me, "Why don't you enter Miss whatever, right? Whether it's Miss South Africa Teen, and why don't you ever do it?" And you know what was always my reason? I always thought that I was too short. So number one, so it turns out that I'm not short after all.
She's not short.
I've grown
at
up.
All.
But I always thought I was too short. And then my second one is, this is going to sound absolutely crazy, irrespective of my frame, and I know how my body looks, but irrespective of my frame, I always have an issue with focusing too much on my body. So I've always been the type of person that says, I don't want to be obsessive. I'm an A-type personality, right? So A-type personalities usually are perfectionists, right? And I've always said that because I know how much of a perfectionist I am, I know how much focus I will bring on my physical appearance, which will then, I don't want it to take away from what else I can bring to the table, which is my mind, my heart, my passions and everything else. So for me, it was, I can be hard on myself, being an A-type personality, to avoid that. Let me rather go into a field where I can still, you know, be vocal and still look cute, but at the same time, still focusing on other areas of my life. It's really crazy.
And here we are with Faith on broadcasting.
Look at that. That's how it came to be. I just decided, no thanks. It's also probably because I couldn't stand being in a bikini, but that's another story for another day. We're going to leave it there. Get yourself a copy of the newspapers. Stop laughing. Get yourself a copy of the newspapers, of course, to find out exactly what